Well, you've got some wins here, 2 in a row. I'm sure you're happy about that. And does it improve the mood and confidence level with the team right now? Are things, feeling good?
Yeah. I mean, when you work really hard and you play well and you finally get rewarded for that, then confidence goes up. Just the feeling in general, is better, the morale. But we have to now stay hungry and humble and continue fighting. We still have a big hole that we're in, and we need the next win. That's really important. We can't relax now.
How big was you guys won 1-0? How big was that one goal? What transpired? I mean, it wasn't just an individualistic effort where one guy did it. The way it was set up, tons of passes before. Explain how that went down.
Yeah, it was a good sequence. Goals in our sport can happen in many different ways. You can score on a set piece, corner kick or a wide free kick. You can score on a transition, which is more of a quicker counterattack goal in shorter amount of passes. And then there's positional attacks, and that's something we work a lot on, is playing out of the back and getting control in the match and breaking teams down with our passing game, with our possession and our ability to disorganize the opponent with the ball. And that was a 17-pass sequence, started with our goalkeeper. And it's great to see that, come to life, because we work a lot on that. We had an 11-pass sequence against Nashville, and we weren't scoring goals like that early in the year. So it's a real good sign that the evolution of our style of play is getting better and better.
We've talked about the offense with you a fair amount, but you must have been excited about the clean sheet as well, huh?
Yeah, really important. Usually my teams have been very good defensively, and this year we've leaked goals, and I didn't like that. I think it's helped. We've got a good chemistry in the back line right now. Obviously, we added a great goalkeeper and a great center back. That helps. Dave Romney actually has done a really good job the last 2 games. And it's not just the goalkeeper in the back line, it's also the team. It starts with our front guys working really hard to make it predictable. But if we're going to have a chance here, we need to be a good defensive team, because we're not a team right now that's outscoring the opponent, and it may take one or 2 goals to win. So we need to be stingier defensively like we have in the last several games.
Caleb, I'm curious to get your thoughts on another team, not your own, and that would be the U.S. national team. They usually draw pretty good ratings in this market on TV, and last week played Colombia, got absolutely destroyed 5-1. One of the worst losses in recent memory for that team. What's your take on the state of the national team right now?
Well, they got a good result last night. They tied Brazil, which is a very good result, and I thought they really responded from, like you said, that extremely embarrassing and disappointing performance against Colombia. This is a really talented team. This is arguably the most talented national team, soccer team that we've had. Everybody on the team is playing in Europe at big clubs, and it's a young team. And the sky's the limit. The potential of this team. I think they maybe needed that wake-up call, because when you play against the Colombias of the world, you play against Brazil, Argentina, it's a whole nother level. And our group's very talented, but they're going to have to show up and have a better mentality. And they did that. They did that last night against Brazil. I was very pleased to see that. That gives you good hope for the Copa America and then obviously the World Cup.
You mentioned the World Cup. The Euros start next week, I think. And that comes around every 4 years. Where do you rank that tournament? And not specific to World Cup. I know World Cup's number 1, and it's the most intense. But where do you have the Euros coming in?
Yeah, that's a big tournament. It's huge. I remember when I was young, watching the European Championship and even watching videos of Holland, winning the championship, and it's huge. It's another tournament where people can get introduced to soccer. If you're not a fan, or if you are a fan, it's another tournament that you can watch. It's super exciting. Anytime the World Cup comes around, and the Euros come around, if you love the game, or even if you don't, I think it's great for our sport.
Speaking of championships, Boston may have another banner soon. Celtics up 3-0. Have you paid attention to the Celtics in the finals at all?
Yeah, I've been watching it. For me, it's not even close. It's not even close. And you start to even think about, they're going to win 2 or 3 with this group, honestly, because they're just so well built, the roster. They're so balanced. I'm not a huge basketball guy. I don't know a ton about it, but just as a casual observer, anybody can score, everybody can shoot threes, everybody defends. You can't take one guy away. You still have the Tatum and Browns who are the elite, but I'm impressed with the entire team, how it was built, and the balance of the group, and even the chemistry. But I love that they all defend and they all can score. And you look at Dallas, and some of them don't defend. Only a few guys can score, and that's why they got no shot.
I'm curious if you've ever coached a player. Now, you don't have to name names, obviously, but coached a player that you thought went too far with crying and whining to officials the way Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks does. Have you ever had to rein a player in and say, cool it?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. It's for me, it's an excuse. It's a distraction. Definitely there are guys that complain with the refs, and there are guys that don't, and yeah, there are some guys that you just have to talk to and be like, this is hurting your game. Actually, this is hurting your mentality and your focus, and you're focused on things you can't control, and you start to go, listen, is every ref bad? Is every call wrong? Come on, and I think with that, I see that a little bit. I don't love that side of Luka or the defending. Obviously he's a great player, but it's clear what the Celtics are doing. Again, I don't know basketball that well, but it's clear they're just attacking them every time they can.
All right, final one for you. Match coming up Saturday at Gillette Stadium with Vancouver. What do you expect in that one?
Yeah, it's nice to play a team from the West. That's kind of mixes it up a little bit. It's our first team that we played in a crossover with the other conference. I think it's nice to play a team you don't know quite as well. For the players, it's stimulating. I wish we were playing a West team that wasn't as good, because they are a very good team, very tactical. And actually their coach, I know very well, he was one of the coaching educators in our pro license that we did. And he's a smart guy. He's an Italian guy, really passionate, really tactical and intelligent. And it's no surprise that he's doing well with that team. But they're a good team. They play a 3-5-2, which is a little bit of a unique system. We haven't played that system yet this year. So we've had to work a lot this week on that structure and that understanding of how to play tactically against that shape.
All right, Caleb, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys, you take care.
All right.
See you.